If you measure the precise frequency of a signal, you lose all information about when that frequency occurred. Mathematically, a perfect sine wave extends infinitely from past to future. When a sudden, sharp transient event strikes a system, representing it requires an infinite sum of these eternal sine waves perfectly canceling out everywhere except at that exact millisecond. The mathematics demand infinite information to describe a highly localized event. The system forces a fundamental choice between knowing what happened and knowing when it happened. How does the standard transform encode this temporal paradox? The Fourier integral multiplies the signal by a complex exponential and integrates from negative to positive infinity. This global integration averages the frequency content over the entire time domain. Consequently, a frequency component that exists for 1 millisecond yields the exact same spectral amplitude as one that persists for 10 hours, provided their integrals equate. The specific time location of the anomaly is entirely erased. We must find a mathematical way to localize this infinite integration. Can we restrict this infinite integral to a finite time block? By multiplying the signal by a sliding window function before applying the transform, we create the short-time Fourier transform. This operation segments the time domain into discrete blocks, computing a local spectrum for each block. The output transitions from a one-dimensional spectrum to a two-dimensional time-frequency surface. Yet this operation introduces a severe mathematical constraint. The window size dictates a rigid limit on the maximum achievable resolution for the entire dataset. What dictates this strict limit on resolution? The Gabor limit, derived directly from the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, dictates that the product of time resolution and frequency resolution is bounded by a constant minimum. A narrow time window localizes high-frequency spikes accurately, but severely distorts low-frequency components due to insufficient spatial cycles. A wide time window captures low-frequency waves accurately, but smears transient spikes across the entire block. The fixed window geometry forces a permanent, inflexible compromise across the entire measured spectrum. How can a system measure both sharp spikes and slow waves without compromising either? The mathematical architecture must abandon fixed windows entirely. Instead of analyzing the signal with infinite sine waves, the projection basis must dynamically adapt its width. The basis functions must compress in time to capture high-frequency transients and dilate in time to resolve low-frequency oscillations.
This dynamic scaling mechanism requires a fundamental restructuring of the integral transform matrix. We need a completely different foundational basis function. What mathematical structure provides this dynamic temporal scaling? The continuous wavelet transform replaces the complex exponential with a localized waveform called a mother wavelet. The governing equation introduces two new variables, scale and translation. The translation parameter slides the wavelet along the time axis, while the scale parameter stretches or compresses its physical width. The signal is convoluted against these transformed wavelets. This operation successfully bypasses the fixed window limitation, but it relies heavily on finding an appropriate initial waveform. In the mid-1970s, research engineer Jean Morlet faced a structural limitation in seismic signal processing at Aquitaine. Traditional spectral methods applied to acoustic reflections were smearing the precise temporal location of underground strata. The rigid frequency windows could not accurately process the rapid high-frequency shock waves generated by ground impacts alongside the deep low-frequency seismic echoes. Working through the decade and formalizing his results in 1982 alongside theoretical physicist Alex Grossmann, Morlet mathematically modified Gabor's equations to stretch and compress dynamically, developing the first practical wavelet basis to accurately map geological structures. How does this dynamic compression physically alter the time-frequency matrix? When evaluating high frequencies, the scale parameter decreases, causing the mother wavelet to contract. This contraction yields extremely high temporal resolution, pinpointing the exact millisecond of a discontinuity, though at the expense of precise frequency resolution. When evaluating low frequencies, the scale parameter increases, dilating the wavelet to span a longer duration. This provides the necessary frequency resolution for slow oscillations. This variable tiling effectively solves the standard resolution trade-off. Does any oscillating function qualify as a valid mother wavelet? The waveform must strictly satisfy the admissibility condition to guarantee that the original signal can be mathematically reconstructed without data loss. While possessing a zero mean, integrating to exactly zero across the time domain is a necessary baseline, the formal constraint requires the frequency domain integral of its squared magnitude divided by the absolute frequency to be finite. This guarantees finite energy and prevents the inverse transform matrix from becoming singular. The function selection is rigorously constrained by these exact parameters. What happens to the computational load when scales and translations vary continuously? Integrating over every real number for both scale and translation produces extreme redundancy and an intractable computational matrix.
The continuous transform generates a two-dimensional surface from a one-dimensional signal, processing vastly more data than is necessary for exact numerical reconstruction. To optimize this, the parameters must be mathematically discretized along a dyadic grid. The continual integral must be converted into a discrete summation process using powers of 2. How does the dyadic grid execute this scaling algorithmically? The discrete wavelet transform passes the time domain signal through a cascaded series of parallel high-pass and low-pass digital filters. The high-pass filter extracts the detail coefficients, isolating the sharp transient discontinuities. The low-pass filter extracts the approximation coefficients, isolating the broad fundamental trends. After each filtering stage, the algorithm downsamples the temporal data by a factor of 2. This digital filtering architecture drastically reduces computational complexity while maintaining perfect data reconstruction parameters. Can this recursive filtering process scale indefinitely? The multi-resolution analysis framework formalized by Jean Morlet proves that this decomposition can iterate systematically. The approximation coefficients from the first level become the input for the second level, splitting again into coarser details and approximations. This creates an orthogonal mathematical tree, breaking the signal down into discrete frequency bands without any overlapping data redundancy. Each decomposition level effectively halves the time resolution while doubling the frequency resolution. The algorithm eventually reaches the maximum viable decomposition depth. Where is this orthogonal decomposition strictly required over standard spectral analysis? In data compression protocols like JPEG 2000, isolating spatial discontinuities, the sharp edges in an image matrix, is paramount. Classic standards utilizing the discrete cosine transform introduce ringing artifacts around sharp edges because they forcefully truncate infinite periodic sequences. Wavelet compression isolates these exact edges in the high-pass detail coefficients and encodes them efficiently, discarding insignificant values. The strictly localized nature of the basis functions prevents the artifacts from propagating across the signal matrix. The physical shape dictates the compression efficiency. Wavelets solve temporal localization by restricting energy and time, yet they sacrifice the pure, precise frequency representation of an infinite periodic wave. The entire signal processing framework hinges on assuming complex physical phenomena can be decomposed into elementary oscillating components. This assumption of linear superposition introduces a deeper mathematical anomaly. How did the initial premise of using infinite trigonometric series to model physical heat transfer completely rewrite the foundational rules of mathematical physics? Next, we analyze Joseph Fourier and the origin of the Fourier series.